Thanks so much for watching NBC News Daily. We're back with some breaking news near Niagara Falls.
Yeah, the FBI right now is investigating reports of a car that exploded at the Rainbow Bridge. That's a border crossing between the United States and Canada. The details are limited at this hour, but we do have a correspondent there. NBC News correspondent Kathy Park is on her way there. We're hoping that she will be able to join us shortly with the details on what she knows in terms of what happened during this explosion at the Rainbow Bridge.
That's right. In the interim, we have been told that Governor Kathy Hochul of New York has been briefed on the situation that occurred at the Rainbow Bridge in Buffalo, New York. She said, quote, "At my direction, the New York State Police is actively working with the FBI Joint Terrorism Task Force." Here to dig in more is NBC's Kathy Park. Kathy, I understand we have you now. Can you give us the latest on just what you know?
Yeah, so we should point out, obviously, that this is still very much a fluid situation. But from our understanding, what's being reported so far, this happened just before noon today. Once again, as you mentioned, on the Rainbow Bridge. And this connects Niagara Falls, New York, to the Canadian side. And officials are saying that a vehicle was coming into the U.S. Once again, we have multiple agencies on the ground now or en route. The governor of New York, Kathy Hochul, once again released a statement saying in part that the New York State Police is actively working with the FBI Joint Terrorism Task Force to monitor all points of entry to New York. She personally is traveling to Buffalo to meet with law enforcement and emergency responders and will be updating New Yorkers once more information becomes available. But once again, some video that witnesses were able to capture on the ground, it looked like there was smoke and an explosion at the entry point, as typically when vehicles are coming into the U.S. and Canada. But once again, the FBI is saying that they're investigating a vehicle explosion at the Rainbow Bridge, and they're coordinating at the local, state, and federal levels at this point. Once again, pointing out that this is a fluid situation. This happened just before noon today. We know there is a lot of law enforcement presence on the ground. It's unclear who is in the vehicle, who is behind the wheel at this time, if the area is being placed on a lockdown, still to be determined. But obviously, as you can see, things are still very fluid. You just saw a local station there just kind of getting on the ground, but it looks like there are folks still kind of walking around in that area, but still, once again, a large law enforcement presence.
Kathy,
Yep.
Do you know if anyone was hurt or if we know anybody was in the car?
No, that information, still a lot of questions at this point. We don't know who is in that vehicle, it was possibly registered to, but we know it just happened, as typically when cars are entering the U.S. side from Canada.
Well, NBC News correspondent Kathy Park with the latest on that explosion near Niagara Falls. We'll bring you much more later. You're watching Daily.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.